you the top 50 places on planet Earth for you to add to your bucket list. Just a reminder, there will be timestamps below so you can click around from destination to destination. Spectacular waterfalls on planet Earth. Iguazu Falls, located on the border of Argentina and Brazil. Located in the Iguazu National Park, it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Typically, people who want to visit here arrive in Buenos Aires and then take a flight to Iguazu. The main area of the waterfall is called the Devil's Throat Canyon. It's 300 feet wide and 260 feet deep. They're all on the waterfall. Next up, we're headed to the Arabian Desert where Petra, Jordan, is located. This is home to the ancient Nabateans, and currently the Bedouin people live here. They're from Jerusalem and 150 miles away from Amman, so you can get there both ways. It is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. At one point in time, the Romans had expanded their empire into Petra around 106 AD. It takes flying around the area, providing you with a bird's eye view of just how amazing the landscape of this city really is. You can easily catch a flight from Istanbul's two major airports to Cappadocia. Kayseri is the main airport that you would pick. Next up, we're headed to Costa Rica right here in Central America, one of the most biodiverse countries on planet Earth. Many species of birds, mammals, and flora and fauna abundant everywhere you look. Do be sure to check out the wildlife in Manuel Antonio and the hot springs around La Fortuna and the beaches on the Caribbean and Pacific side. Incredible wildlife safaris that you can do along with trekking up to the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro. And there is Kilimanjaro in the background. Also, don't forget to head over to the coast to Zanzibar and check out this turquoise water. And when you arrive, you can say Jambo, which is hello in Swahili, and Hakuna Matata, which means no worries. This was one of the largest religious sites in planet Earth when it was developed. Over 400 acres, the main temple complex is surrounded by a moat. Originally constructed as a Hindu temple for the god Vishnu around the 12th century. And now we're headed back to South America off the coast of Ecuador to the Galapagos Islands, one of the most amazing volcanic archipelagos on planet Earth. There is over 18 main islands with 3 smaller islands, and it was made famous by Charles Darwin, who is said to have developed his theory of evolution right here in the Galapagos Islands. There are many unique species of plants and animals like the giant tortoise, marine iguana, the blue-footed boobies, penguins, and much more. Mee goreng and nasi goreng, which basically translates to fried rice. Next up, we're headed to the west coast of Italy to the Cinque Terre, which basically translates to the 5 towns. Those 5 towns are Vernazza, Cornelia, Manarola, Rio Maggiore, and Monterosa al Mare. While here, do indulge in some of the local seafood, along with the local cuisine, including pesto and wine. As you will see, there are many grapes growing on the sides of the hills. You can walk around the villages and see the amazing colorful houses and views that they offer here, as well as do some hiking and swimming. Now we're headed to the Indian Ocean. Right in the middle is the small island nation of the Maldives, which consists of over 1,000 coral islands and 26 atolls. The capital is Mali, which is considered one of the most densely populated capitals on Earth. Best time to visit is dry season, December to March. Next up, we're headed over to Tahiti, which is in French Polynesia. More specifically, you want to check out Bora Bora. This volcanic island is surrounded by a coral reef, and it is absolutely stunning. Tahiti is home to many popular tourist destinations like Moorea, with these floating beach bungalows over the water. Tahiti is divided into 2 parts, Tahiti Nui and Tahiti Iti. The Atacama Desert, the Andes Mountains, and the Amazon, Lake Titicaca, the capital of Lima, and Machu Picchu. Be sure to also explore Cusco. Now we're headed to Southeast Asia, to the Philippines, a place that is considered one of the premier travel destinations of the 21st century with over 7,000 islands and 109 million people living here. You originate in Manila and then you head out to one of those amazing tropical islands. Some of the favorites here. Now we are headed to the wonderful Taj Mahal located in Agra. This here mausoleum was built by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in the year 1632 and completed in 1653 for his beloved wife, Mumtaz Mahal. The dome of the Taj Mahal is 73 meters high and the up, we're headed to the highest mountain peak in the world, Mount Everest, located in the Himalaya Mountains. Now this borders between Nepal and Tibet, also northern India. The elevation of Mount Everest is 29,000 feet. The first summit of this mountain was completed on 1953 by Sir Edmund Hillary of New Zealand and Tenzing Norgay, a Sherpa from Nepal. Hence the Redeemer statue going to the top of Corcovado Mountain and Sugarloaf Mountain. They do speak Portuguese here, so bom dia, which means good morning. Spending 3 to 5 days in Rio is definitely time well spent. Next up, we're headed back to Italy. This time we're on the Adriatic side over in Venice. Built on a group of small islands separated by canals, it is famous for gondola rides, also because it was a historical trading and commerce area during the Middle Ages and the Renaissance. Now we're on our way to the Canadian Rockies to Banff. Now there is a town here and also several different lakes. It's surrounded by spectacular mountains, glaciers, lakes, forests. People come up here for skiing, snowboarding, mountain biking, you name it. Very popular place. Also, there is the Banff Hot Springs and the popular lakes known as Peyto Lake and Lake Louise. We're staying in Canada and we're going to the east. This time we're going to Niagara Falls, located along the Niagara River. It actually borders between the United States and Canada and consists of 3 separate waterfalls: Bridal Veil Falls, American Falls, and Horseshoe Falls. While you're here, you can actually take a helicopter ride, do a boat tour up to the waterfalls where it gets very misty, or just look from above upon the observation decks. The Canadian side is considered the most well-known. Heading out to the middle of the Pacific, this time we're headed to the island of Maui for the road to Hana. This windy road is 52 miles long and goes through the lush rainforest on the island, where you'll see many different waterfalls and beautiful coastline views. Some Hana at the very end, where you will find a red sand beach, a black sand beach, and a white sand beach, Wailua Falls, and the 7 sacred pools. On our way down to Patagonia here in South America, it is located in Chile and Argentina. This majestic region is mountainous and lush. Here you will find glaciers, marble caves for kayaking around. 5.8 miles, it is considered the world's largest rock monolith. Heading back to Europe, this time we're headed to the Swiss Alps, a popular ski resort destination with towns including Zermatt, which is considered the base camp for the Matterhorn mountain. One of the best ways to see the Swiss Alps is by train. You can get the Golden Pass, and you can check out the towns and villages in between, where there's Interlaken, Lauterbrunnen, Grindelwald, and so many special places. But again, most people like to go here for the skiing in the Swiss Alps. On our way back down to Africa, this time we're in Egypt, exploring the ancient Egypt, where the Sphinx and the pyramids of Giza are along the Nile River. Here you can find the Great Pyramid and the tombs that are located near Cairo. If you head south toward Aswan, you end up in places like Luxor, Abu Simbel, I recommend at least 7 days to explore all of ancient Egypt. Now we're actually headed way up north. This time we're headed to Iceland, a volcanic island with tons of water and streams and rivers running all throughout of here, where you'll find many different waterfalls and actually active lava flow, as well as the midnight sun. And if you stick around long enough, you might find the Northern Lights. Now the Northern Lights are a thing that you'll want to see, but not exclusive to Iceland. You can find them in Norway, Alaska, and other parts of Scandinavia. So if you're looking for Aurora Borealis, you can check out the Northern Hemisphere for this. Most commonly seen during the winter months, but it's not always a guarantee that you will see them when seeking Aurora Borealis, because she is elusive. Headed back down under, this time we're at the Great Barrier Reef off of Queensland, Australia. It's over 900 islands, making it the largest coral reef system in the world, extending 1,430 miles without leaving any footprint. Now we're headed to the Great Wall of China. Construction began over 2,000 years ago to protect the Chinese people from the northern invaders like the Mongols. It extends 13,000 miles, built primarily of brick and tamped earth with stone. The most efficient way to get here is from Beijing and then take the bus or a train to Badaling. There are other sections though of the China Wall that you can visit, but the easiest one is probably going to be from Beijing. Headed all the way down south, this time we're headed to Antarctica, the southernmost continent and the 5th largest in the world. This is one place that if you go to, you are in a very small demographic of people who've actually visited. It is very heading over to the island nation of New Zealand. It has a North Island and a South Island along with several smaller islands. It offers a wide variety of climate zones and landscapes with beaches in the north and then snow-capped mountains in the south. They also have the Fiordlands in the South Island, very beautiful around Queenstown. If you go to Abel Tasman Park or Mount Cook, very awesome places to explore doing hiking. You can do skiing. People also do surfing, and there are many geothermal parks as well as lots of waterfalls. Headed back to Italy, this time we're exploring around Rome. Now, ancient Rome has the Forum, the Colosseum, Circus Maximus. There's also the Vatican City, the Pantheon. There's also Trevi Fountain. There's so much history in Rome. After all, this is the head of the Holy Roman Empire. Because of its history, it is a must-do bucket list destination. You should expect to be here for at least 3 days. Now we're headed to a hidden gem. This is known as the Dalmatian Coast, right along Croatia. It extends for 400 miles. There is an ancient history dating back to the medieval times that you'll want to explore in places like Dubrovnik or Hvar, for those of you who like the Game of Thrones. But there's also this beautiful water and bays and islands that you can explore all across this region of Croatia. By the way, guys, I want to remind you that if you check the links below, we do have specific travel guides for some of these destinations, so don't forget to check the description below. Now we're headed to Colombia, to Guatape Pinol. Now this large rock is very interesting because you can actually walk up the sides of an artistic city with other places such as Moulin Rouge, home to the Can-Can dance, as well as Mason Rose Cafe, and even the largest shopping mall in the world, Galleries of Lafayette. I recommend at least 4 days in Paris. Next up, we're headed to the Dead Sea. Now the Dead Sea borders with Jordan and Israel, and while here you can do a mud bath or a salt bath, which is interesting because when you get in the water, you actually float because of all the salt and the buoyancy in the water. There are no fish or animals that live in the lake or around the lake. It is basically a salt pond. You can see here's the mud bath, and once you get the mud, then you go in the water and wash it off. It's also the lowest point on planet Earth. And now we're headed back out to Hawaii, to Kauai, actually, Nepali coast. Right here is on the western edge of Hawaii, where you'll find a lush rainforest and dramatic sea cliffs, as well as Waimea Canyon, Hanalei Bay, and some of the most dramatic scenery you will find in terms of landscape anywhere in the world. If you get a chance, do a helicopter ride or a boat tour to the sea caves of Nepali coast. Next up, we're headed to Yellowstone. Now this is considered a very seismic activity zone, but there's also a lot of wildlife you will see here, including buffalo, grizzly bears, moose, wolves, and of course more bison. But you can also find majestic waterfalls, Old Faithful Geyser, the Prismic Geyser as well, which is a geothermal pool, and so much more here in Yellowstone National Park. If you get a chance, it's a must-see for sure. You can either arrive here by tour boat from Krabi or Phuket, or you can actually stay in the Phi Phi Islands at Tonsai Beach, so you can actually get here much quicker. Next up, we're headed to Guatemala, to a lake surrounded by volcanoes known as Lake Atitlan. This freshwater lake is surrounded by 3 dormant volcanoes and many different Mayan villages. The region truly is a paradise and popular with people who like to do retreats for yoga or just kicking back and relaxing. You will find a strong presence of Mayan culture that you should explore and appreciate while here. It also has lush green vegetation on the hillsides. You can do some hiking and kayaking while here, although the waves in the later part of the afternoon get very rough. And now for those of you who enjoy deep sea diving or just getting in the water and seeing incredible underwater places, Red Sea right here that intersects with Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan, and Israel. So you can do some incredible diving here. As you can see, it is an underwater Disneyland. My favorite place on the Red Sea is Sharm el-Sheikh, but you can also stay at Hurghada. Both are in Egypt. But you could easily spend a week or two here exploring all the dive sites. And another place that you must go is the whole country of Thailand. Thailand is so diverse. In the north, you have Chiang Mai and Chiang Rai with the Golden Triangle and many Buddhist temples. If you go towards the middle, you have one of the most popular cities in the world with tourists, Bangkok. Then as you go south, you have Phuket, you have the Phi Phi Islands, you also have Krabi, and there's so much to see